Tron Uprising is one of the best shows of all time. It has amazing animation, it has amazing story, characters, soundtrack. It just looks so good. And unfortunately, it only had 19 episodes when it was intended to have 2, 3, maybe 4 seasons. It was going to last on Disney XD for an extremely long time. They had a huge plan, which Joseph Trapanese has talked about. Bill, one of the main writers who has talked a lot about this show on Twitter, he's also talked about how they had big plans as well. And that's actually what we're going over today. He's actually come out with script pages of future Tron Uprising projects. So what I mean by that is, of course, we had season 2 coming up after the fact, but basically what you didn't know, and if you haven't seen other videos on YouTube, there was a season 2 planned. They were about 50% through the episodes writing them. So we would assume there's around 19-20 episodes per season. So we're going to say around 9-10 episodes or something like that. They were probably writing that far in. But on the side, they were also writing a Tron Uprising movie, which was in between. This was heavily discussed this time last year when Bill originally leaked a page of the script for this Tron Uprising movie. That's when the information was first made public. And this is because Daft Punk split up and it made him release something like this because there was a Daft Punk scene they were going to put in the Tron Uprising movie. He decided, because of some really nice fan art, to release more script pages, 4 of them, and this is earlier in, and we have so much context to go over. We have confirmation that Korra was going to be probably the second, the third, one of the main characters. The majority of the story was going to be with her and Beck, and of course Tron's involved too, and this is going to take place minutes after Clue and Dyson enter Argon City. We obviously don't know much context of when it exactly happens. We definitely don't know exactly what happens after that, but if you do remember the original leaked storyboard on YouTube from 4 years ago where Clue confronts Tessler, everybody thought that was a season 2 clip. There was rumors that it was a season 1 clip and there was extra episodes they would have done. But now I actually think that even if this is a season 2 clip, because they didn't get too far with the Tron Uprising movie, but I think that this specific scene was originally planned for the movie because they got further along with season 2 than they did with Tron Uprising the movie. So maybe this scene, a few of these scenes were in quote repurposed for the Tron Uprising season 2 since the movie wasn't going to happen. But that, we'll just say, is the beginning minutes of Clue entering the city in the movie, and this all goes down, this all happens, but some crazy stuff happens and they connect the original Tron movie to this. Basically, it says, without missing a beat, Korra activates a sticky bomb attached to her opponent, then kicks him away, watching him tumble through the air out of control until kaboom, cubes. Basically, Korra is going up against an opponent and Beck is there as well. We also see there's a Clue scene also with Dyson. You have Dyson claiming that he's made a mistake. Clue is very angry and says that the business of perfection is unforgiving and he knows that mistakes can't be tolerated. Dyson's really nervous and he basically says, allow me to correct it. I'll go back out there, bring you Tron, the real one. So basically what this implies is that earlier on he captured Beck thinking it was Tron, but in reality it wasn't, and Beck escaped, and Korra probably saved him, and that's how they kind of met up and everything. Clue basically grabs him and he flings him out the hatch. Clue says permission granted, so Clue is just not messing around. Dyson has been extremely frustrated, nervous, scared, things we've seen before, but honestly in front of Clue we haven't seen it fully yet. We haven't seen Clue go all out, at least in this show, and that's what I find interesting. So that's honestly one of the best scenes we have here. We just have a bunch of scenes here where Korra and Beck are just talking in an alleyway. Korra introduced herself, they kind of just talk a little bit, and she's saying that it's kind of ridiculous, foolish to dress up as Tron. She tries to get information like if he's related to Tron, if they are connected in any way, and that he's in danger, he shouldn't be going out there trying to stop Clue and his forces and all that sort of stuff, and that's kind of what's going on. She also brings up the idea of Clue wiping out all of her kind, the Isos, and she has knowledge of Tron being alive, which basically proves that they knew Tron was alive even after the coup, but this means that they assume Tron dies later on, which still adds to the context of in Legacy when Korra and Tron both believe Tron was dead. So maybe Flynn never saw Tron after the events of the coup, but Korra did see Tron later on, but she told Flynn that she saw him again, but he then died. So that's kind of what gives the context to that. They are still respecting the events of the timeline. They're not trying to go off in their own direction or anything. Basically, Beck just says he gave me this symbol, confirming that he knows Tron, of course, as Korra's trying to get information. Beck asks what Clue wants with Tron, and then they have to start running immediately. And if you look on the next page, Korra starts talking about the fact that Tron isn't from this grid, he's from the first grid. So they're referencing the original system, and this is something I never thought they were going to do. Honestly, I didn't think there was much of a need for it. It wouldn't make sense in the storyline, but they actually did. Of course, in Tron Legacy he did, because that makes sense, but in Uprising I just didn't see it happening. So this makes me very happy, and this adds to the theory of possibly Yori coming back. That would be very, very cool. Honestly, we don't know if that's the case. I really like the dialogue with Beck and Cora. They're definitely the two main characters in here. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but this just is amazing, and it would have been so cool to see this movie. You can just picture the scenes and just how awesome it would have been to see all this stuff. Hopefully, we get the full script someday, and over the years, the writer has released new information, and hopefully one day we get the full thing. But let me know down below what you guys think. Do you guys want this movie on Disney Plus? Do you guys want a season 2? Do you want both? Do you think we'll ever get this? I want to hear your thoughts down below.